court didn't even go into whether Kanu was right or wrong about his claims. The judge decided to strike out the case because the case was not moving forward. Lawyers and parties were missing in action, adjournments kept piling up, and the court felt it was just wasting time. This is what we call lack of diligent prosecution. In simple words, it means you start a case but you don't actively follow it. The court can't just wait forever, so they struck it out. Now, before we go further, I want you to hit that like button if you're enjoying this breakdown, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because we bring news in clear English every time. Don't miss out.
The God of justice, you
Even
don't know
though the
that?
suit is struck out, it's
That God in
important to
heaven
know
is a
that
God
it's
of
not the
justice.
same
Don't
as
know that?
Kanu's criminal case. He still faces serious terrorism and treason charges, and those trials are still ongoing. So, striking out this civil suit doesn't affect the criminal proceedings. They are totally separate. Why are people talking so much about this? Well, Kanu is a very high-profile figure. He leads IPOB, and whatever he does or whatever happens to him in court, people watch it closely. Supporters see every move as significant, and critics also want to see justice done. A suit like this is symbolic, because if it had been successful, it would have been a major statement about the rights of citizens versus government power. Let's break down why this might have happened. First, his legal team may have been focusing on the criminal trial and this civil suit got less attention. Second, there may have been logistics.
Where's the lying news agency of Nigeria?
Arranging lawyers and
Those
attending
liars
court
and
sessions.
deceivers. Are they here?
Third,
That distort the news.
the court has
Don't know
its
what law
own
is.
rules. If you
Don't
don't
know
show
what
up
justice is.
repeatedly, the judge can
Where's
strike
the
out
news
the case.
agency of Nigeria? What are they?
I want you to think about this while I continue. Do you think the court
the
was
God of
fair
justice?
to
You don't know
strike it out?
That God
Drop
in
your
heaven is a God
answer
of
in the
justice.
comments
Don't know
because
that?
we love to hear what you think. And yes, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can follow all updates on this story. The implications are clear. Legally, Kanu has lost one path to challenge the government over alleged rights violations. Politically, this could affect how people see him. Supporters might feel disappointed, critics might feel justified. For the public, it shows the court is serious about following rules and managing cases efficiently. But here's the thing, this might not be the end. These lawyers could try to bring the case back if they have good reasons for the delays. Or they could refile it in a different form. Meanwhile, the criminal case continues, and that's where the real attention will stay. Before we continue, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep bringing news in simple English. Also share this video with your friends so everyone can understand what's happening in this big story. Now the bigger picture here is about the Nigerian judiciary and public perception. People are asking, are courts too strict? Or are they just enforcing the rules fairly? When high-profile figures like Kanu are involved, the stakes feel bigger. But the process is the same as for anyone else. Efficiency and justice have to go together. Even in striking out this suit, the court sent a message. Start your case seriously, follow it closely, and don't waste court time. That applies to everyone. So far, we've covered why the case was struck out, how it affects other proceedings, and what this means legally and politically. I want to pause here and ask, do you want me to continue with the next part, where we talk about the possible next steps for Kanu and what to expect in the coming weeks in a very detailed way? Now, looking ahead, what could happen next with Kanu's N50 billion suit? Well, the court striking it out doesn't necessarily mean it's over forever. His lawyers can apply to the court to reinstate the case if they can give strong reasons why the earlier delays happened. They might say there were challenges with logistics, court schedules, or access to documents. If the court accepts these reasons, the case could be reopened. Alternatively, they could choose to refile the suit entirely, maybe in a slightly different way, focusing on parts that the court didn't get to consider before. But this will take time, resources, and careful planning because courts are strict with repeat filings. Meanwhile, the ongoing criminal trial remains the bigger focus. That trial is still very much active, and it has its own complexities. witness testimonies, evidence submissions, and procedural battles. Every move there is under intense public scrutiny. People are watching closely because the outcome could have far-reaching consequences. Now, here's something interesting. Striking out the civil suit might actually let Kanu's legal team focus more on the criminal case. Instead of juggling two major legal battles, they can concentrate resources and energy where it matters most. Some analysts even think this could be a strategic advantage in the long run, though it comes with the risk of losing the civil avenue to challenge government actions. I want to remind you again, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss updates as this story develops. It really helps us bring you these kinds of detailed stories in plain English. Let's also talk about why this story matters for Nigerians in general. High-profile cases like these set examples. The court's action sends a message. Even very famous or influential people must follow court procedures strictly. No one gets a special treatment when it comes to moving the cases forward. For the public, this reinforces trust that the judiciary can apply rules fairly. At the same time, it sparks discussion. People ask, are courts being too rigid, or is it necessary to maintain order and efficiency? This is an important conversation because it touches on justice, accountability, and fairness. Not just for Kanu, but for everyone who uses the legal system in Nigeria. Now, let's take a moment to imagine the public reaction. Supporters of Kanu might feel disappointed or frustrated, thinking the court is working against him. Critics might see this as proof that the legal system is holding him accountable. And many ordinary Nigerians are watching closely, trying to understand what this means for the rule of law and citizens' rights. Before I go further, remember to like this video and subscribe. Also, comment below, do you think the court was right to strike out the case? Or should more patience have been allowed? I want to hear your thoughts because this is exactly the kind of conversation that matters. Looking at the bigger picture, this story isn't just about one person or one suit. It's about accountability, legal procedures, and how high-profile cases are handled in Nigeria. It's a reminder that following court rules is essential, no matter your status, and that the justice system is designed to work efficiently, even under pressure. And finally, the key takeaway for viewers. The N50 billion suit was struck out because it wasn't actively prosecuted, not because the court decided whether Kanu's claims were true or false. The criminal case is still the main story, and that's where the real focus is now. So, as this story develops, stay tuned. Like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Follow the channel to get updates in plain, clear English. No confusion, no hard words, just the real gist.